Okay. I'm thinking this is probably going to be pretty quick. So, you all have families and a million other things to do. So, jump right in. Let me share my screen with you. Does it look okay? It gave me some weird little warning thing. Does that look okay to everyone? Jordan, I can see you. Is it okay? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to talk just really quickly about how to get your products for free. Nobody likes to pay for anything, right? And how to go silver, which is the first rank up in the Plexus business. So it's a lot easier than you think. I know it can feel overwhelming at first, but take it one step at a time. Just to give you guys just kind of an idea, and some of you may have already seen this, but I just really want you to grasp the opportunity that is in front of us. And just also just know that, you know, you don't have to be working your way to the top. You know, you can be working on just getting your products covered, and that's great. You can be working on making $1,000 a month, and that's great. So I feel like, you know, a lot of times you just, you know, part of our job is to, you know, encourage people to do the best that they can, but I just also want you to know that, you know, don't feel badly if your goal isn't to go, you know, to diamond. So, but also just know that just, you know, the awesome opportunity and the potential for making some real money. So we're going to just talk about first how to cover the cost of your products. I'm going to do kind of a comparison between having 3 customers order and then having 5 customers order. And just real quickly so that we're all on the same page, hopefully most of you guys are familiar with the term PV, which stands for personal volume. I know it can get a little bit confusing with dollars versus PV amounts. So every product has a PV amount, which is really close to the dollar amount, but we get paid on our PV. So for the purposes of doing, sorry guys, warning, we're doing a lot of math here. I hope I don't lose all you. But for the purpose of, you know, figuring all this out, we're going to be just focusing on the PV of each product. So say you have 3 customers ordering the triplex. There's 2 ways to order. So first we're going to talk about what that would look like if they ordered retail, which is the most expensive, and then it's just the one-time order. So your retail cost of the triplex, and I just do triplex because that's, you know, what we typically recommend to most people. So that's what most of your customers will probably be on. So our retail cost for triplex is $139.95, which comes out to $125 PV. You guys can see my mouse, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of use this as my pointer. If you have 3 customers ordering the triplex for $125 PV, that's going to get you to $375 PV. So anything, and guys, know that this is not, you know, we're talking customers. So if you're ordering the triplex also, this is not going to include your products. So if you have, there we go. If you have your 3 customers, you're at $375 PV. The first $100 PV goes back to the company just to kind of keep the lights on and all that type of important stuff. So you're going to end up with your $275 PV. That's what you will make your commission on. Anything under 500 PV, we get paid 15% commission on. So when you do that math, 15% of 275 is going to be 41.25, which is what you would get paid if you had 3 retail customers ordering the triplex. If those customers were ordering preferred, which is cheaper for them and also just ships automatically every month, so they don't have to worry about running out or remembering to order, which, I mean, there's no way I would remember. I'm not good at that. The cost is a little bit less. It's about 10 to 15% less depending on what product they order. And that's going to reflect a little bit in your PV, but actually it's definitely going to work out in your favor. So you have your 3 preferred customers on the triplex, and that's going to give you 115 PV times 3. So you're at 345 PV minus your 100 for commission qualification. So we're at 245 PV, and then again times our 15% commission because we haven't hit that 500 mark yet. That's going to leave you with 3675 just on your sales. But here's the thing: if you have someone order preferred, every time their order runs through your website, so every single month, you're going to get a $20 just cash bonus on that order. So it's cheaper for them, easier for them, and makes you more money. So there's my mouse. There we go. So if you have 3 customers with a $20 bonus each, that's going to give you, $60. So when you add those 2 together, your commission on your sales plus your preferred bonuses, you're at $96.75. If you're on the triplex, your triplex is about $10 off of that. So you're almost to the point of having your products completely covered, and that's just 3 people. I mean, that's your mom and your best friend and your sister. We all know 3 people who could benefit from these products and who would love them. Okay, so now we're going to look at what if you talked to your cousin and also your, the girl you sit next to in gym class or spin class, or I don't know, the girl at school, or, whatever it is. Just adding 2 more customers a month. When you look at retail, I'm not going to go back through that math, but you're going to end up with 525 PV because you added those 2 extra customers. Now you've hit 500, so that's going to bump you up to your 25% commission. So instead of making 15%, you're making 25%, and that's going to put you well over the cost of your products, like depending on what you order, but well over the cost of your triplex. And then if you look down and you at those preferred customers, if you had 5 people who ordered preferred, your PV is going to end up at 475 times that 25. Oh, that's not right. Oh, sorry guys. Hang on. Math is not my strong suit. I'm going to have to double check that number later. The point is, the real thing we're going to look at here is your preferred bonuses. Is someone doing math for me in chat? I'm going to look at that in a minute. If you've got those 5 customers ordering preferred, you're going to get $100 just in preferred bonuses each month, and that almost covers the cost of your product. And that's just by adding 2 more people. So, it really isn't as tough as you think it is. Definitely doable. There we go. Oh, sorry. Definitely doable for you, especially, as we're starting out our business. We just tend to have a lot more interest. A lot of people still haven't heard about our products, and so there's people curious, wanting to know about them. And we'll just talk about going silver super quickly. Going silver means that you have added 3 ambassadors that have ordered a welcome pack. Welcome packs, I'm sure you all got those when you signed up. They're just an incredible deal. Best deal you'll ever get on your products. So anytime you sign someone up, you are going to get a portion of that welcome pack. Half of it is going to go back to the company, just like that 100 PV. And then the other half is going to be split between you and your 4 or your next 3 uplines. So if you have an ambassador that buys a $99 welcome pack, which is what probably most of you bought, that's the triplex, and there's a couple other different options, you're going to get a $25 bonus, and that's going to be paid the Friday after they sign up. So these bonuses are paid out weekly. They're called business building bonuses. But if that ambassador orders like the double triplex with X Factor, you're going to get $50 on that. So, you know, depending on which welcome pack they order, it can be, you can have, you know, anywhere from $75 to $200 just on those 3 people signing up under you. On top of that, pay points get a little bit confusing, so I'm not going to go into them, but just know that the next month that they order their product, they're going to be worth points. As long as they hit that $100 PV mark, they're going to be worth points to you, and they'll be worth 5 points, and each point has a different dollar value, and it's a tiny bit different every month just depending on the volume of the company, but it's usually around $3, so we just kind of always say 3 just to keep it simple. So just by having them order their products, you're going to make $45 off of just those 3 people every month. And that, you know, continues for anyone you sign up under you. They're going to be worth 5 points, so $15 every month. So, well, how do we do this? So we're going to talk about 3 Ps. You know, I think the most common way and maybe the most convenient and easiest way to share these products is to post about them on Facebook. I know it can be a little bit scary, and you don't want people to think you're annoying and that you're just selling something. So we'll get into that too. We'll talk about that too. But I just want to kind of reassure you a little bit. Just don't be nervous about it. Just because of the way Facebook works, not everyone is going to see every single post. You know, depending on when people log on and when you post, they may not see anything you post that day. So just because you're posting, you know, about Plexus twice a day doesn't mean that every single one of your friends is going to see every single one of those posts, which is why we try to post more than once a day. It's really important to have an equal amount of Plexus posts versus non-Plexus posts, because people really want to know what's going on in your life, and they're interested in you, and they want to, you know, see what you're up to, and what, you know, if you have kids, what they're up to. And if someone goes to your page and, you know, all they see is Plexus posts, they're really not going to pay a whole lot of attention to what you have to say. So we definitely want to keep those balanced. It's ideal to post daily, you know, and I feel like a lot of times you'll hear, you know, the ideal number is 3 to 5 posts a day. I think it's just different for everyone. You know, if you're naturally really active on Facebook, then you want to, you know, you'll be able to post a little bit more. If you aren't super active on Facebook, you know, you may not end up with, you know, 3 different Plexus posts every day. But it is important to be consistent and to post every day. At the very least, aim for, you know, 1 Plexus, 1 non-Plexus. I think that's pretty manageable and pretty doable. But you just want to be consistent because that helps you build credibility. You know, if you're kind of if you post about it and then don't say anything about it for a few weeks, it's just kind of the nature of people. They just don't take that as seriously. So it helps you build credibility. And, you know, posting often also helps you spread your net wide. Because like I said before, not everyone is going to see every single post. And if you're posting regularly, the chances of, you know, a wider audience seeing those things that you're talking about is greater. And when you are posting, you want to think, you know, the goal of when you're writing your post, the goal of your post is to get someone to stop scrolling for 5 seconds and read what you have to say. You know, make it interesting, and you can make it engaging, and you can make it educational. But you want it to be something that, you know, stands out a little bit and is personal. So next we'll talk about pursuing, which might sound a little bit what's the word? Intimidating, I guess, or but you know, aside from posting on Facebook, which is a great place to start, if you want to be in this business long term, you will have to reach out to people personally. You're going to have to pursue people. You can't really assume that people will come to you, that anyone who's interested in the product will see your posts and they'll all just, you know, come to you and ask you about it, because that's just not the way it works. People get busy, or, you know, they have a million other things going on, and they just don't take the time to stop and ask you about it. Some people are shy. Some people are a little embarrassed. So you just can't assume that if someone is interested, then they will contact you, because that's just not how it works. If you know someone who can benefit from our products or our business opportunity, then you really do need to reach out to them and tell them what you have and what you found, and what you think it can do for them. I really do feel like it's just kind of our, you know, I feel obligated personally, you know, if I know someone's struggling with a health problem and I don't share this with them, and how that, you know, how it could potentially really, really impact their health. I don't, sorry, let me turn this down here. Anyway, I feel like if I have something, then I feel like I need to share it. And then, you know, as you share with people, you're also going to have to follow up with them, because again, you know, the same thing that stops people from reaching out to you is the same thing that's going to stop them from responding, you know, when you share this with them. Definitely don't take it personally. I love the analogy of, you know, a lot of us have, or a lot of people in general, have worked in a restaurant. So when you're you know, a waiter or waitress in a restaurant and you offer your table dessert and they say no, do you get offended? No, because, you know, that's fine. That's your choice. And, you know, you didn't make the dessert. It's not, you know, it's not something that you have personally prepared for them, and they're saying, you know, they don't like it or they don't want it. So definitely don't take it personal when people say no, or when people, you know, don't respond to you. Just know that everyone's got a million other things going on. So you will have to reach out and initiate that conversation, and maybe more than once, maybe more than twice. I know that I'm sure Sandra and Joran both have stories of reaching out to people multiple times. Just one day something clicks, and then they're ready. So just know that persistence can definitely pay off. You know, you want to initiate these conversations. You can Facebook message or text, or if you see people, you know, face to face is always great too. But, you know, if you're I know a lot of us are texters, but if you're still a talk on the phone, type of person, then, that's great too. So then we're going to talk about being personal, because in both of these things, that's, posting and pursuing, that is something you really, really want to keep in mind. It's going to be super important. When you are posting, if you aren't personal, it's just not as impactful. People want to know, why you're doing this and how it's affected you. And Sandra sent me a TED Talk, which I loved. And actually, we need to post that on the team page again. And it was a guy just basically saying, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I think that just totally makes sense for this business, because people don't, they want to know why you are doing it. They want to know why you love the products and why you love the business. They want to know why you joined and what it's done for you. People are going to join you because they like you or because they trust you. And, you have built that relationship with them. And ultimately, that's going to be the thing that helps them decide to try these products or to jump in and do this business with you. So I just want to encourage you guys to be bold and to share your story and make it personal, because that's really what all of your friends and family want to know and want to hear. So I feel like this finger is a little bit a little much in your face, sorry. So one thing I would love to do going forward to support anyone who's on here and anyone who's not on here, we can kind of see where people are at, but I'd love to get just a group chat, like a group Facebook chat going for anyone who wants to go silver, or anyone who just wants to get their products covered, maybe isn't necessarily interested in working a business, but it can just be a place for, people to bounce ideas off of each other and, like, what are you saying to people as you reach out, and just getting some ideas from each other and encouraging each other. So just something to think about going forward. Let's see. And I want to give you all a special and a challenge. I think it's really helpful anytime. It doesn't happen often, but the couple times a year that it does, anytime the company offers a special on sign-ups, it's always just pretty huge for the company and for building our teams. So I just thought, maybe I could extend that, just personally extend that special to you guys. And it also just kind of gives you a reason to reach out to people and say, like, hey, my upline is offering a special, and I just thought maybe you'd be interested. I know we've talked about Plexus before, and you might want to take advantage of this awesome deal. So I will reimburse $15 off of the $34.95 for the annual membership. And because of the way it works, I will have to either send a check or do PayPal or something like that. But I'd love to just kind of help some of you guys get your feet off the ground and get a little momentum. So feel free to personally message people or talk to people about this special, but because of compliance rules, we're not allowed to post it publicly, like on our Facebook page. So this will be something that you'll have to reach out to just individually to people, which honestly is, a lot of times you get better response doing that anyways. And then just a quick challenge, I think, one thing that's also going to help you guys get going is making a list of people that you know, people that could use products, or people that could use the business. Maybe they need a little bit of extra money a month, or maybe they're just super well connected and really outgoing and have, you know, a lot of Facebook friends. Anyone you think could benefit from products or the business, or just anyone you think would just do really, really well. I'd love for you guys to make a list of just 15 people. And that just kind of gives you a starting point. You know, I know it's kind of hard just to, you know, if you're going to just sit in front of your computer and think like, okay, well, who am I going to message? I don't know. So if you have this list in front of you, it just helps you stay organized and kind of just gets you off to a good start. So I think that's all I have. I'm going to check chat really quick just to make sure you guys have. Oops. Okay, Christine, is that you on the phone? I couldn't tell because your name isn't up there. Christine wants ABC. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and then we can just chat a little bit more if we need to.